Hi everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Jensa. I'm going to be exploring a little bit more of the world of Lineage 2 Revolution today, especially the new area in Giran. Um, in case you're not familiar with it, this was added to the game in an update a couple of days ago, and I honestly have been having a whole lot of fun playing it. Right now, I am in one of my favorite areas of the first new map area, I guess. This is the um, Gorgon Flower Garden, is what they call it right here. There's a couple of really neat new mobs here, a couple of bosses. This is also where you will find the Stanoa, the main boss of the area, as well as uh, I believe Ellen and Veer are the two rare mobs in this area. So I thought we could explore it a little bit and show you around, and also maybe give you a couple of thoughts on what I have discovered, some of the things I've found out over the last few days. So I really like this area. It looks really nice. There are lots of flowers and bushes and things. One of the things I really love, though, are these statues for a Gorgon area. Obviously, you might expect that some wayward adventurers sort of fell under their spell and turned to stone. And as you explore throughout this area, you can find several of these stone statues in various poses, fighting, fallen, um, all of that. This area also has worms, which I'm in sort of the worm area right now with their nests. If I go a little bit to the west over here, we should find Medusas. Um, so they look pretty cool. Got the four big snakes on top of their head, the ponytail hanging back. This area I've done a lot of farming in over the last couple of days. I found that for my combat power and level, these have really given me the best experience gain to date. Um, as you can see, I have gotten up to 125 from 120 over the last 2 days. Not quite as great a gain as I had hoped for. Leveling is still a bit more of a chore than I wanted. I was a little disappointed, especially in the main quests. Uh, Went through them pretty quickly and hit these quest stalls, as I call them, um, rather fast. You can see right now I'm at a little more than 60% through level 125, and I can't do main quests again until level 126. There was also a stall back at 123, and I decided to pay a little bit of attention when I did that. When I got to 123, started doing the main quests again, and that took me through the center of Giran town. Um, sort of moved me a little bit more onto the map into this area for the quests. Now, I had already discovered this area. I did a lot of exploring around here the first day or so, again, trying to find the best experience I could get so that I could, level up. Um, so again, when I hit 123 and started doing the main quest, just going straight through main quests and not really doing anything else, they only took me they gave me about 40% of a level before I hit this stall and went to 126. So I started doing sub quests, dungeons, and things like that. Once I did everything that I would expect, a normal player to do in a day without any resets or anything like that. So, um, sort of your elite dungeons, all of your other regular dungeons, hitting your hot time, all of that stuff. If you're not familiar with some of these terms, I'm sorry. I may go into some of the gameplay mechanics in a future video. Right now, I'm assuming you know at least a little bit about how the game works. But um, after going through sort of all of these dungeons and everything, I gained just about a full level. And the level after that, to get to the 125, was from me doing a couple of resets or waiting for things to naturally reset and being able to do them again. But again, I really have enjoyed seeing some of the new graphics, some of the new gameplay mechanics, things like that. Um, This area I found, like I said, gave me the best experience for the level and combat power that I'm at. Now, when I say that, there's a lot of things to take into consideration for that. Obviously, it's not just how much experience each mob gives you, um, but how long it takes you to kill them, how many other people are hunting in the area. Because if you're not in a party and more than one of you give damage to the mob, the experience for that mob is split. So as you can see here, only 79 base experience for that one. Whereas if I kill one by myself, it should be more around the, I believe, the 130, 140 area. Um, let's see, we'll see there, 152. So if there's a lot of people forming in an area and you're not in a party with them, that's quite a um, that's quite a reduction in experience that you're going to be getting. I did do some other exploring and really kind of get into the next area of the map from the Giran Dominion to the um, Deathly Fog Shores. There are some really neat looking things here as well. It is sort of a darker, shadier area of the map. You're not out in the nice sunlight, meadows and stuff like you are in the Gyron Dominion. Um, I did a lot of hunting here around the pirate area, Zakin pirates, I guess is how you would say that, around the Gyron Harbor here. I also did a little bit of hunting up where the um, let's see, where was it? The Lesser Giant Creations, Bugbear Warriors, Bugbear Fighters, I guess is what they're called. That kind of thing. Though these mobs obviously are higher, 136, 140, that sort of thing, 146. I was able to kill them fairly easily, but when it comes down to just farming for experience, I wasn't getting quite as much simply because they take a little bit longer to kill. So even if they take only an extra one or two attacks to kill, you're going to get a you're not going to do as well just grinding the experience out. So, for instance, with these, um, the best ones I found were the worm wardens, which are kind of off to the east from where we are right now. With those, I was getting about 163 per kill, and could kill about 10 a minute. So that's a good 1630 experience per minute. For instance, the pirate soldiers, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of numbers, but the pirate soldiers um, gave me 10 more experience per kill, but I could only kill about eight or nine per minute. So looking more in the 13 to 1400 per minute range instead of 1600. So, one of those things you want to think about when you're farming mobs out in the world. That experience per minute is really kind of what you need to look at rather than just straight up what each mob gives you. Because, like I said, even killing one or two less per minute really does a large difference in the amount of experience you're going to gain in total. So anyway, like I said, I really enjoyed some of these, the way they look, the way the area around them is designed. We also have a couple, like I said, the named mobs in this area. So let's see if we can maybe catch some of them since we're pretty close. See if any of them are spawned right now. Um, it looks like Ellen is not. They do spawn every, 5 or so minutes, so it's pretty regular. Veer I like a lot. Let's see if maybe we can run over there and catch him. Um, and see what we can find out. I'm also going to go ahead and take a look in a minute at uh, the boss in this area, Stanoa. She looks really cool in game. She's got some really powerful attacks, still a little bit above where I am right now. You can see it recommends 573 combat power. I had to be really careful. If I get hit by a couple of her attacks in a row, I'm simply gone. So she's pretty tough. I did watch one of the main clans on the server fight her a couple of night before last, I believe it was, and they did a really good job. They kind of approached it like a dungeon boss. They were well organized and hit it up in a concerted manner. Most of these world bosses, usually you're taking out with a group of other just random players in the world. Maybe you have a party of 4 or 5 that you go to with, but you have a whole huge crowd of other players that are also taking them on, so it makes it a lot easier. However, with Stanoa, I guess because newer, um, she is a newer mob, very high level. You have to have the 600,000 combat power to take her out. There's not a lot of people trying for her right now, so I really can't go over there and take her by myself. But we might go just try to take a quick look at her and then get out of there. In fact, let's go do that since we can't seem to catch Vera or Ellen spawned right now. Well, you see Ellen spawned while we were running, so we just missed her. But let's go ahead and take a look at Stanoa, then we'll come back and see if maybe we can catch one of them or do something else here. Again, just kind of let me zoom out a little bit so we can kind of see the area as we move through. Again, I've really enjoyed hunting the medusas and different types of worms out here. There she is, and like I said, you can see she looks pretty cool. She's got a kind of spin attack that really does a lot of damage. So I'll run around here a little bit, try to get you a look at her. But again, definitely solo, I cannot take her on. So that is her. Let's go back since Ellen is basically a larger version of the Medusa. So not too much different to see there. Veer, I really like. I was hoping we could catch him. He may spawn in a minute or so. So if we just run back over there, maybe we can get lucky. I did go through yesterday and actually hit up all of the other named or rare mobs in this area. Made a couple of notes about them. Tess and Veer were easy. Loose was as well. When it started getting up to Rashkos and Shakos, even though they're 132, just like Loose is, started being a little bit tougher. I am able to solo them. It takes a little more running around, a couple of more pots than Loose does. Tess and Thox were kind of the same, a little bit different abilities maybe. There were also more people farming around Tess and Thox, so it made it a little bit easier to take them out. Even if you have only 1 or 2 other people on them, it's quite easy to take those out. So you can get the core. Of course, you can still get the cores farming the mobs around them. Let's see. So other than Ellen and Veer, I believe all of the others are sort of lizard man types, if I remember correctly. I'm not really going to go through all of them for this video. Lizard men are lizard men. I mean, we've seen them earlier in the game. These are slightly different variants. So it is new and interesting, but not quite the same as like a worm or a Medusa, at least in my opinion. The zombie pirates were pretty cool. The bugbears in the next map area, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of some of the others. I probably will spend some time today going look at more of these. The creations of the lesser giants I really liked. They were sort of reptilian looking with big teeth and things, but it's I don't know how to describe it. We'll look at them maybe in another video, but I'll probably go do a little more explaining. Here's Veer. As you can see, he's just sort of a big worm. So again, not horribly different graphics from the mobs in this area, but for whatever reason, I personally just like Veer a lot. So So I've done a lot of hunting in this area. I've gotten a lot of cores for his codex. It's really been a great time. Some of the other things that they've added to the game, um, there are new dungeon levels. Um, I believe it's the Ivory Tower. We'll go take a look at that real quick in here. Those are elite dungeons, obviously. Um, so we've got Ivory Tower Catacombs 1, 2, and 3 that open starting at 128. 125 this morning, as you've seen, hoping to hit 128 maybe tomorrow. 2 to 3 levels a day is kind of what I'm gaining, obviously. I am free to play, so I don't have a lot of um, extra resets and things that I can do only from the gems that I buy, that I earn in game. I threw a few dollars at the game yesterday to get one of the daily reward packs, um, just so that I could do a couple of resets and get some extra diamonds each day. But I can only do that once right now, and so I'm a little stalled on what I can do. What I've been trying to work on a lot are these quest scrolls. Um, these take you all around. Most of the quest scrolls in this area, the 120s, it seems like sort of just take you around killing the animals in the area. Not so much these mobs like the worms, unless you get a very specific one, but it takes you through the bears, the snipes, the cougars, that sort of thing. Which is interesting, but does get a little old when you've run the same ones over and over and over again. There's some more of the statues if you're seeing as you look around. Um, as I run through here, I really like those. For whatever reason, those just tickle me a little bit. Maybe from having read a lot of mythology and stuff like that. Just to have those as you're running around. There is a main quest that discusses soldiers that were turned into statues, and one of the quests you're collecting materials for one of the NPCs to create basically a potion that, according to the storyline, prevents you from falling under that curse as you're fighting the Medusa. So it was pretty interesting. Again, I really wish the main quest had been a little more, maybe have a little more for each level if they're going to have the level breaks like that. It was, like I said, maybe a 5 or 6, just a handful of quests that took you through not even half a level of experience. So was a little disappointed in that. But really, that's one of the only things with the update I've been disappointed in. Um, the other thing that I really, I'm not necessarily disappointed, but really expected to see was extra um, difficulty levels for things like Temple Guardian. You can see it still only goes up to hard, which requires level 89. I was really hopefully looking for one that, maybe extra hard or whatever, very hard, whatever they wanted to call it, that you would hit around level 110. You know, 20 every 25 levels, maybe, something like that, to give a little bit better, um, maybe a larger number of items or better quality items in the chest, um, stuff like that. But they haven't done that yet. Same thing with the Dina Vault Trials of Experience. As you can see, they still only go up to hard. Um, Again, same thing here, only up to hard, which requires level 100, with level 180 being the cap. Trials of Experience is only going to take you so far. It gives you, maybe, I forget the exact numbers, I'm sorry. I think around 150, 170,000 experience if you get triple S on it, which is about 3 or 4 quests worth, depending on what type of quest you're running. So it's a quick little boost of experience, but isn't going to take you through um, a large portion of any given level. Um, so again, I would hope that maybe in the near future they would add some more levels to the dungeons, a little more difficulty, just to shake things up a bit, or give you, as you hit the higher levels, um, a little more benefit for going through those every day. Um, let's see. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Like I said, I wasn't going to do too much today. Just wanted to share some of my thoughts and some of the experiences I've gone through with the new update. Unless something really exciting comes along in the next day or so, I don't expect to leave this area or maybe just start in the next area over the next day or two. So I probably won't do another video like this for a couple of days. May do a sort of game mechanics or advice video tomorrow, day after that, and then share some more content as I'm able to take on some of the other named mobs and stuff like that. Those are the things I really enjoy seeing. So hopefully you've enjoyed it and gotten some good information from this video, and I will talk to you again soon.